Hi friends, it's a pleasure to welcome you to hollylolly's channel. You know, back in Japan, I often get comments from subscribers asking me what I eat here. Some people have been to Japan before and couldn't find the foods they wanted to eat. I remember that I often couldn't figure out the food either. Still, our taste buds are different, and it's a matter of habit. So, it is very difficult, if you have just arrived here, to find something you really like. But we found products that suit us, and these are probably the products I really miss when I leave Japan. So, now that I'm back, I'm running to the store, stocking up, and at the same time, I'll show you what we eat. Probably most of you will be surprised because it's been over 2.5 years since we started living in Japan, but I'm still not used to purely traditional Japanese dishes of any kind. Still, I prefer how Japanese people prepare dishes from different countries. For example, we were in South Korea, and I have to say that, for my personal taste and perception of food, the Japanese cook Korean food much tastier than what I had in South Korea. But then again, your experience might be different. I also really like how the Japanese cook Indian food and other cuisines of the world. So, even the products I buy are based on what I more or less know and are similar to what I'm familiar with. But they still have some kind of improved flavor. They are of better quality and very tasty, as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I miss the most? For example, if you have a lot of money and can go to restaurants every day, of course, you can eat insanely delicious Kobe beef, but it's also very expensive. At the supermarket, you can buy marbled meat relatively inexpensively and fry it at home, and it's just as good. It's very tasty, so today I'll show you the kind of meat and products I buy. Anyway, I'll take you with me to the supermarket. Let's go! You know, I've never seen such delicious, juicy grapes as in Japan. They even indicate the degrees of flavor, like this one will be sour, this one medium, and the yellow one the sweetest. We're going to look for the yellow bunch right now. This grape is incredibly delicious. I've missed it so much. That's my grape love. By the way, these tangerines have a blob painted on them, which means they are very juicy and delicious. Honestly, I don't even know of any analogy, because they're so juicy and sweet, it's like they melt in your mouth. I can't help but indulge myself in this pleasure. You can see pineapples cut into rings or in pieces. The price, by the way, isn't cheap. And here are these little fruit baskets. Or look, for this price, just a sliced apple, it's not even half of it. I'm not going to take it, I just thought I'd show you. By the way, I'm really excited that Japanese supermarkets now sell sliced beets. It's such a big deal because 2 years ago, beets were very hard to find in Tokyo. Anyway, if you're an avid fan of Japanese food and want to try something distinctly Japanese, you can get yourself some beans, but I still don't get them. I've tried them many times, even with different sauces, but my body just doesn't accept them. I know a lot of people don't like them on the first try, but eventually, they grow to love them. I've tried so many times, but that love hasn't come to me yet. If you're a ramen lover, there are all kinds of noodles and ready-made mixes here. You can choose different ones, but I only like the tomato ramen. The flavors of the others just don't suit me. There's also a huge selection of tofu for every taste and color. My son has recently fallen in love with tofu. It's very low calorie and healthy, but unfortunately, I don't like it either. However, those who do love it say it's delicious. How appetizing these sets are. But again, they are for people who can cook this kind of cuisine. If I take this, I won't know what kind of dish to adapt it into because I know how to cook our cuisine, but I can't cook Japanese cuisine. Still, it looks delicious. I also love Japanese seafood. You can find anything here. There's sliced seafood, by the way, but I wouldn't recommend that. Here is, for example, sliced sashimi, but it won't taste as good as if you take a piece and cut it up at home. It's definitely fresh and very tasty. Alright, let's get it. Look, there's tuna, octopus, and caviar. By the way, it's evening, so there's a discount on caviar. The caviar here is very tasty and natural. Look at the ready-made sets with delicious food, with delicious seafood. I just don't eat anything except salmon and caviar, so I don't take them. By the way, I recommend these gyoza for frying. They are very juicy. When I decided to make them, I just fried them, and they were really tasty, and I like them. There are different ones too, with various fillings. It's like an analog of dumplings. You can boil them too, but I still prefer either our dumplings or fried gyoza. Look, there's a huge selection. We've tried different ones, but we like the ones I've already shown you. Imagine, the other day I bought different cheese desserts, with lemon, chestnut, grapes, and raspberries, and I didn't expect them to be so good. Here's a great selection of yogurts, but the one I like the most is olive flavored. It's very unusual, but very delicate. I'll get some next time. You know, my all-time favorite is mochi flavored ice cream, or rather, mochi ice cream. It's delicious and something I missed a lot while not in Japan. If you happen to be in Japan and suffer, like I did for a very long time, from not being able to find sour cream, I recommend this. It's not really sour cream, I would say, it's Greek yogurt. When you live here for a long time, you often want to eat something with sour cream, and this product here could be considered an analog of sour cream. Look, there's this water, and it says it has 0 calories. It somehow promotes sleep. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or not, but it helps me sleep. Look, these are anime buns. I don't know what they're called. We jokingly call them cheeks at home. They're so chubby and kind of fun. To be honest, they taste good, but I always like the way they look. Look at the wide variety of meat. This is Wagyu meat. It's evening, so it's 10% off. It's marbled meat, very tasty, and good for frying. You can see there are fattier and less fatty options. I always try to go for the less fatty one. I'm not sure, but I think this thinly sliced meat is for cooking. There's a pot drawn on the package, so I assume you're supposed to boil it, kind of like shabu shabu, but I'm going to take it and fry it at home. It's convenient that the supermarket has an elevator because I go from the second floor to the first floor with my basket. You know, I'm not a fan of cards, but they are so beautiful for the new year. The designs are just indescribably beautiful, and it makes you want to buy them. I don't know why, but it feels like stepping into a fairy tale or, I'd say, into childhood. Okay, I'm going to go pay now. The cashier will scan everything, and then there will be a machine where you can pay by yourself. My basket is here on the table, and I can pay. What I like is that everything is so convenient. There are bags for you to pack your items, and if you can't open the bag, there's a roller to wet your finger and help you open it. There's duct tape to pack things too. There are also pens. There's even an ice machine. For example, if you're carrying frozen products, you can take some ice to put in a bag and keep them from defrosting. You know, I decided to show you my favorite products. I'm going to go to Family Mart with you and show you what's good there. I love that they have both cold and warm drinks. In general, I love this kind of tea. It's plain but very flavorful. I also really like latte tea. I hope to find it now, but there is latte tea, take my word for it. This cocoa right here, by the way, is really good too. Okay, I don't see tea lattes yet, but I'll be sure to show you. Ready-made food from supermarkets is a lifesaver for constantly busy people. It's very convenient to walk into a store at any time of the day and buy a ready-made delicious dish, curry, salad, dessert, and more. The dish can also be heated there, noodles can be made, or hot tea can be prepared. You can even eat right away. Often, there are tables, chairs, and garbage cans. All in all, of course, I missed onigiri. Look out for salmon-flavored ones, for example. I prefer the classic one or the tuna flavor, that's my favorite, of course. You know, you might say sandwiches, what's the big deal? But these sandwiches, they're so soft, juicy, and crustless. It just seems like simple genius. It's 320 yen. Of course, there are different flavors. I like the one with egg. There's some kind with sausage and cheese, and then there are ones with teriyaki sauce. Those are really good too. Strawberry drinkable yogurt is insanely good. And please note the juice. It's just orange juice, so what's so special about it? But it really does taste like real juice. We always buy such juices because they are 100% natural and taste just like freshly squeezed juice. If you like lemon, there's also one with lemon flavor. By the way, there's a new flavor, melon mint, but I haven't tried it yet. I'll definitely have to get some to try. If you like something with sourness, here's vitamin C. Basically, you can drink a little bit of it every day. There's a section on drinkable vitamins, like liver vitamins. Of course, you need to stand with a translator to understand what each one is for, but there's usually a picture, and it's clear that these are different vitamins to help you feel good. If you're ever in Japan, be sure to try a crab stick like this. It's inexpensive, 178 yen, but it's not a regular crab stick. There's something spicy inside. I just fell in love with this kind of crab stick. By the way, this kind of fish dessert is sold here. It's not bad if you're trying it for the first time, take the one with cream, but there are also ones with beans. However, if you see these fish desserts being freshly baked in tourist places, they will taste much better. If you're a snack lover, here are pizza-flavored chips. These are probably the best chips I've ever tasted. They're insanely delicious. There's all sorts of yummy stuff with anime characters, but there you pay more for the card that's inside. As for the flavor, I wouldn't say it's anything special, but the packaging looks cool. If you're into something really exotic, there are bot-8 and chestnut snacks here. I like how they look. I don't know many people like buns like this, but I prefer other things from this pastry section. And this is the kind of dessert I really like. It's so buttery, but it's really good. There's also this hot dog. Honestly, I tried it, and I didn't like it. It looks weird too. By the way, there are always buns like this at the cashier's counter. I also recommend trying them because I like the pizza-flavored buns. Right now, they're so yellow, and there's some really good chicken inside. You know, I told you that if you grill meat at home, it's just as good, sometimes even tastier than in a restaurant. But I didn't tell you about one detail that makes it different from going to a restaurant. You have to clean the grill afterward. In a restaurant, they don't make you wash the dishes. But at home, this whole thing needs a good scrubbing to turn out nice and tasty. Let's do it! Okay, either I fit in the frame or I'm doing it. So for now, it's the second option. It's a good thing I bought this stuff that cleans it up really well. And you know, I was debating whether to show it to you or not, but I thought I'd show it to you so you could feel the depth of it and experience it yourself. I have garbage sorting going on here at the same time because I have to separate labels from bottles, sort it all into bags, and there's nowhere to put it. So, I'm going to clean that up now. After our grill is cleaned, we can start grilling. Anyway, I don't know about you, but we like to eat meat with tomatoes. We choose pink tomatoes. They remind me of the taste of my childhood. I don't know if everything tasted better when I was a kid or if I didn't have such spoiled taste buds, but back then they were really meaty, juicy tomatoes. I don't find tomatoes that good anymore, but they do in Japan. And you know, I went to the sauces section because I wanted to show you the sauces I usually buy, but the staff were rearranging everything and I couldn't find them. However, I found some at home. This is the sauce we use for tomatoes. We pour it on top. Of course, there are probably a lot of flavoring additives, but with it, the tomatoes become unbelievably delicious. I had this kind of salad in a restaurant once, tomatoes, onions, and this kind of dressing. Also, we don't like drinking freshly squeezed juice because it has pieces of orange in it, so we strain it. Yes, it may seem like a strange habit to some people, but that's what we do. And today, we've invited you to our dinner, you might say. You can see how natural this juice is because look at how much orange pulp is left here. This is the kind of delicious dinner we're going to have. And you know, right before we roast the meat, we do the prep. We slice the tomatoes, prepare the juice, and now we're going to make sashimi with this fresh piece of salmon. To do this, I'm going to slice it thinly and pour the sauce over it. Now our sashimi is ready, and we're going to use this sauce. We discovered it when we lived in another neighborhood in Tokyo, and we just loved it. We started adding it to everything because it has a slightly sweet, delicate flavor and goes well with many dishes. But at first, we had no idea what it said on the label. When we moved to a different area, we started looking for this sauce in the same supermarket chain, but we couldn't find it. We even tried to find it on Amazon. However, to search for something, you have to spell the name. And looking at those hieroglyphics, I had no idea what to enter. We asked an acquaintance of ours, and he told us to search for horse meat sauce. We were very surprised and had a good laugh about it. The acquaintance asked us where we even added it, and we said we ate it with rice and fish. He was shocked, but we really liked the flavor. So, we put this wonderful sauce on our sashimi. I tried to do it very carefully. You know, when I make videos, it feels like everything falls out of my hands. Maybe I get nervous because, in normal life, when you cook, you realize no one is watching you. But here, I try, for example, to look through the camera, and it feels like I'm doing this process for the first time. Whether I'm cooking or watering something, it's the same. And now, our beautiful fish is ready. I'll also show you this cool crab stick. Of course, it's far from what we sell in our supermarkets. These are not those crab sticks. I don't know what they put in these because, after you try Japanese crab sticks, you just can't go back to ours. Honestly, I don't know what's inside, and I can't even describe the flavor. The consistency is like real caviar from small fish, but the taste is spicy and very unique. When I came to Japan 10 years ago, I was shocked by the size of these crab sticks. They're very nutritious, and you can eat one, drink something with it, and stay full for 3 to 4 hours. And sandwiches. You know, I realize that if I eat a crab stick and these sandwiches now, I don't even need to fry meat because I'll be full. But honestly, these sandwiches are so tasty. For example, the bread in Japan, it's just not good. I don't know what they do to it or what's wrong with it, but it's nothing like typical bread. In my country, it's so flavorful, you just want to take a bite. The sandwiches here are a little bit sweet, just the bun. Inside, there's cheese, egg mixed with some sauce, and you just eat it and really enjoy it. Okay, well, I'm finally going to start frying. We're going to grill the meat. And every time, I'm still not completely sure if I'm getting the right meat or not. Every time, we wonder if we got the right one so that there aren't a lot of veins. And we want it to be soft, juicy, but not fatty. Hopefully, this is the right one. This is the sauce that we use to dip the meat in so that we get a very delicate flavor. Alright, let's fry it. Actually, there's nothing special here. I'm going to quickly lay the meat out, turn it over, and you can eat it right away. We don't even use salt because I don't think it's necessary. The sauce gives its own flavor. You know, while I'm writing this down, I'm afraid that the meat will burn and won't taste good. So, I'm going to taste the first bite. Here's the sauce poured. We got some nice chopsticks because we usually eat with simple chopsticks. So I've got a piece of meat that's already fried. It's going to be toast, not meat. Trust me, it's delicious. I'm trying to pick it up, and it's slipping. Anyway, we usually eat off these ordinary plates. And then my sister tells me to get a gravy boat for the video so it looks pretty. And now I've drowned the meat in there, and I can't get it out with these chopsticks. I should get a fork and knife and not embarrass myself. Here, the meat turned out to be really delicious and juicy. So, if you also have time for lunch or dinner, I wish you a great mood, and see you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and bye-bye.